You don't realise actually remove features because apparently security risks, right?
Right.
That's why it's gone shit. Because they removed it because of a
So are they going to replace it or not?
They're updating the new hardware, the new stuff to work.
Are they going to take that back and give us a new one?
No, because that's it. Once you got it, it's yours.
And what's the point of upgrading then?
I'm not going to get the upgrade yet because it's not even out yet.
I export more from my phone at the price. Also, in my experience, everything over €300 is too expensive. But the last time I bought one is also a few years ago. Also, I have a Samsung Galaxy A51, still good enough. Yeah, I've got an A32 and it's still good. It was without a box and it had a pound shop charge and was graded as a B, so it wasn't even mint. If it was mint, I would have gotten like 450 for it. The iPhone 11.
Yeah.
Oh, got a free upgrade from 51 to 53. CX will sell it for like 500. Yeah, CX. If you sold your iPhone 11, then they probably will sell it for 500.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's old tech. And
Yeah, that's a big rip-off though.
Yeah,
Huge rip-off.
Yeah, and I've been telling you, Macintosh is awful for this. They've been like that.
No,
since day
CAX.
one.
We're talking about CAX.
No, Apple in general, because they tell companies if they're going to resell their products, they have to do a certain markup.
Actually, I don't know if this is across all Macintosh or Apple stores. Hear me out. There are certain Apple stores that say bring your device in so you can get shop credit to buy a new device.
Yeah.
Now, not all Apple stores do it though.
Here in the UK they do it because they've got to.
So basically, if they basically went into the Apple store and says, I want to sell this iPhone 11 or return it, they can get a voucher or a shop credit of that value to buy a new
Yeah, and guess what? The maximum amount you're allowed to have on that voucher, £100.
100?
That's it. They rip you off. I keep telling everyone, Macintosh are fucking scoundrels, capitalists, and know how to make money. Because if for their computer, right, they've got the computer, but then you've got to buy the monitor. But you can't get the monitor without having the monitor stand, which you've got to buy separately. And you can't use the computer without a fucking mouse which to sell separately. You can't use it without a keyboard which to sell separately. You spend £5,000 on a piece of shit, looking like a trash can, made out of white
Ashen is very passionate about this.
Whilst I can go fucking down the road, get a fucking gaming computer for about £1,000, it's 5 times stronger than the fucking £5,000 trash can.
I know it's true, Con, but it's funny because he widens his eyes more and more and more to the point it bulges out of his head. That's why I'm saying he's so passionate about it.
I will fucking murder.
I still only on Apple because I keep getting their phones and tablets for. What do you mean you get them for free, Kirai?
Because they do that deal. So
Or
if you fucking
Or unless they work for a company.
well that, or if you sign up to a certain contract, so if you sign up to a contract today, you can get a free iPad.
Con said, "Congrats, you are stuck in an infinite Apple loop."
Yeah. But unfortunately, it's a pile of wank.
Like I said, I only got it for one app. That's it. I'm not using it for everyday use.
Yeah, but
That's why
that thing costs 10% of the fucking sale cost.
Yeah.
They mark it up by 90%. That's the thing, because somebody in China who is part of the production line tells you how much a single part costs.
Right.
He said this phone in America costs $1,500 US. Give me $200 US. I can make you the Zap phone. $200.
But people
The same shit.
Yeah, but you don't forget, as a lot of people say, it's not about the product you purchase, it's about the brand you buy.
Yeah, so
it's the same with Chanel. You look at a Chanel bag and they're like, well, that's a leather bag.
right,
Yeah.
You know what?
It's $1,600. Why is it $1,600? Oh, because you're buying the brand.
Yeah.
And you can buy the same kind of quality even better for a quarter of the price. It's just basically buying the brand.
I know, but it's like going to get the cheap. You know that cheap computer I've got for electrical stuff, right?
Hold on. The Apple stand likely costs $90 to make. They make it up for a 500%. Con says, no, I'm on 128 months of the same account, and every time I go to upgrade, I get the newest iPhone as a free upgrade. Wow, okay.
Yeah, because they try and keep you in that loop.
Yeah, they're keeping you on the
That's
list.
the thing. Why the fuck would you charge?
Tia says, I hope that Triant dies one day. And Kirai says, it's thanks to my upgrade timing being just when Apple releases new phone.
Yeah, the thing is though, to get a monitor from them, you need to also buy their monitor stand. Why the fuck is it separate when it's meant to be the same thing?
Chargers are separate now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's their fucking fault. The only reason why Google does it in this one is because they're using the same chipset as iPhones, and yet they fucking undercut them on the fucking cost.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they have to charge so much for a charger. Huh?
Bluetooth is back in power again. Because Bluetooth got a new update with their hardware and stuff.
Didn't Apple get in trouble for using different chargers?
Yes.
Yes. I faintly remember they were in trouble for using different chargers. Samsung's phones always want to pay me to upgrade to them from me, Kirai says.
Samsung's better. They're basically a fucking iPhone, but
yeah, but they've also said, and I don't know if this is true now, but they did say that Samsung, not in. That's my second daughter farting. If you can hear it in the background, I'm so sorry about that. No, the Samsung components, like I said, I don't know if they still do it, but the Samsung components were supplied to iPhones.
Yeah, they are, because the iPhone.
I don't know if they still do it or not.
Yeah, the screen.
So basically, you're buying a
Samsung screen you're using.
Yeah, you're basically using a Samsung with an iPhone brand on it.
If you want a fucking iPhone, don't get one. Get a Samsung.
Why did you suggest this one then for the bridge?
Because that's the thing. Apple done another patent on a certain piece of software, stopping all the other companies from doing it. Okay, face tracking with eyeball mouth tracking. That's the thing. Android is not allowed to do that because the only thing they're allowed to have is head tracking. They're not allowed to have eye tracking, mouth tracking, because Apple has said, "Oh, we're going to pay you millions of dollars, so other companies can't have it." Welcome to the USA Patent Service.
Oh, this is what suits really want, isn't it?
I can go to the USA and say, I'm patenting the shape of these underwear, and then basically it stops all of the companies.
Underwear from all the things you can come up with.
No, but the thing is that I can do that, and then say, okay, if another company copies your idea, you're eligible for money from them without any lawsuit needed.
Can you check, please?
No, it's a fart.
Just check.
I checked, it's a fart.
You're just looking.
It stinks. It's a fart.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, like I said, I'm using both, so I only use phones when I need to use phones. Anyways, oh my god, what I was doing. The funny thing is that if you try and sell an old Android phone, you'll get peanuts, but an iPhone of the same year add about 100 to those peanuts. Ashen. Just randomly come in. Oh my god. Why is that a passive skill? Wait. Right. We need to get some more Raffian actually. What's the expeditions? Have they come back? No, not yet. Actually, bring back. I am not gonna deal with this. Okay, so we need the 2 Raffians. We need that one. We need Angie. We need that one. We need the other Glavenus. Wait, wasn't Diablo's also a fire one? I think it was a fire one. Yeah. No, I honestly though, guys, I've not really used iPhone at all.
Welcome.
When it first came out. Like, I've only used Nokia, like the old brick Nokias. Ew, shush. Go to bed. Go sleep. Iron sword? Wait, what? Honey? Oh, that's fine. Never mind. Yeah, I had always in the old Nokia. So, So we have the big, you know, the big brick of Nokia's where it's not even touchscreen, where you can actually play Snake. That is one of those phones I ever had. And then I got a smaller Nokia, and this Nokia was my lucky Nokia, because it was a small black one, still with those keyboard and whatnot, and it fell out of my pocket, and a car drew over it because I was biking, and it fell out of my pocket, and the car behind me drove over it. I went to retrieve it, was fine, still working fine, no scratches, no dents whatsoever. Then I accidentally dropped it in the toilet. Let it dry overnight. It still works. God damn, those Nokias were really, really sturdy back then. Jesus Christ. I've also used Nokia back in my childhood days. I've been with the iPhone since like the iPhone 2 or so. I loved Snake back then. I still love Snake. But I'm not really an Apple fan. I just keep getting them thanks to convenience. Well, at least you can sell them. When you're done with them, you can sell them. You get them for free, so you get some money back. In today's phones, you sneeze and they catch fire. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Clavinus is 142. I used to have an old BT Nokia phone that I think I could give to my nephew and still would... Honestly though...
Thank you.
Honestly though, phones back then, the before 2000, I think it was early 2000s, I swear to days, those phones were bricks. You could just throw it at somebody and they will just pass out. You will just throw it and they will pass out. Like, you annoy me, throw, dunk, pass out. Oh my god. No. Recovery charm, no. Finding charm. I once got hit by a Nokia in the No! Really, Con? No! I got a big bumper for it. Oh, I'm talking about a Nokia phone from like 98. Oh my god. I swear. That was intentional. Oh my god. Honestly though, before like touchscreens came along, I think that one little small era where we actually had decent, quote-unquote decent phones of quality, not of functionality, but of quality, is more preferred than now the fragile bricks that we have today. And not only that, the funny thing is, I think a year ago or 2 years ago, they reintroduced the flip phone, and they said the younger generation say, oh, that's a brand new feature, and we're like, nah, that's an old feature. They just brought it back. What do you mean it's new? It's not. Oh my god. No, but rare gathered to this. But why would somebody throw a Nokia in a snowball, Con? You have to explain that to me. How did that happen? Intentional harm. Oh my god. Is it like a bullying thing or something? Also, Ashen, tea, please. Considering how hard and waterproof they are. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I still have my old Nokia. I don't think I do, but... No, we'll check up on the expedition later. Oh no, they just didn't like me. They moved out 2 years later. Oh my goodness. Intentional harm. That's really, really bad. Yeah, I know, Naviru. Shush. No, I cannot think of that. Honestly, bullying is not... no. See, I used to think that way until I remember that I used to have a portable CD player along with an MP3 player and a handheld console along with a mobile phone and a wallet. I'm a man and in the back but just split out. I remember the CDs where you start burning CDs and taking songs out of CDs and putting them on your phone or your MP3 player. Yeah. I only killed one of their carp in their pond when I was 4. You killed a carp? Well, it's probably accidental anyways. 4 years of age. That's not including the CDs and games. Also, if you were waiting, you might also take a... Well, a lot of people used to read a lot, though. And go play. Like, can you... I don't know if you guys still remember this. But do you guys remember when, at a time before phones were even a thing? Computers were a thing already. But phones just started to come... Mobile phones started to come into the production. Where you have kids just on the street playing, and then they will go onto the sidewalk or the path beside the street when a car passes, and you go continue to play, and then by sundown around 7 or 8 you go back in, or 6 o'clock you go back in. Have any of you guys done that as well? Because I remember that. I picked it up and left it outside the pond. It suffocated. Now all of that is a thing on the size of a wallet. Yeah. The world seemed to be more simpler back then, in some sense. Now it's too overcomplicated. I feel like it's gonna overcomplicate it now. I think that's a palm egg, but I'm not sure. That's a Tigrex egg. That's a monkey boy question mark, or that yeah, the white pink. Ugh. Ugly egg. But I don't blame that on phones or video games. It's thanks to parents being slightly overprotective, I think. Yeah, but I think at some point, I don't even remember, I think it was the early 2010s? 2010s, I think. Don't quote me on it. But I think the early 2010s is when the iPads were more of a thing, where parents would be like, oh yeah, I'll just give you an iPad or an iPhone and you just watch. We don't have to deal with your crying, we don't have to deal with you whimpering and all those things. We just show you a show and that's it. And I'm like, no, just, no, you don't do that. Even I don't do that with my daughters now. Like, legit, they only probably have like 20 minutes screen time a day. That's it. Well, at least the old one. Not the young one. The young one doesn't even watch television. For obviously reason. Also, at least here they got rid of most of the grassy areas children could play on. Did they really? Oh my god. Yeah, kids should be playing outside and be kids and explore and chase after ants and birds and whatnot. That was me when I was younger. Chasing birds and playing with ants. I was playing with black ants when I was younger. Those were my friends. I was playing with black ants back in the day. I know, that's really sad. I'm playing with insects. You've got an ant phobia? Oof. I don't know. I don't have much of an ant phobia, but I have like a sort of tolerance for them now. Okay, yeah, I can see why you would have a phobia for ants. No, I just had the black ones. How I don't even want to know how you managed to fell into a fire ant's nest. Was it during like in a forest or something? But we used to have things like football pitches everywhere, and now instead of pitches we have shops or other buildings. Yeah, I've noticed that too. That there were, especially from where I'm actually originally from, there was a lot of like parks and green grasses and all those things, and now it's like, oh, buildings. The black dragon plays with black bug friends. Why do I feel like we get near a horror story? No, not a horror story, Tia. Not a horror story. No, for some weird reason, regarding to that story, Tia, the way I used to play with black ants, okay, it's like, I would sit, there was like this big bush, and underneath the bush is like a small like gap of like maybe 1 or 2 inches, 3 inches, something like that, and it is, I remember clearly, it's like a sand, so it's like a sandbank, and then around it is like the stone rims, obviously, and then in the sand you have like these small little holes with those black ants coming out of it. So the way I would have played, quote unquote, played with the ants was I would either put a finger in front of them, they will go around it, or I put a stone in front of them, they will go either around it or they go circle back. That was basically how I would have played with the ants. That's it. That's literally it. I was just pestering them. I wouldn't kill them or I wouldn't squeeze them or anything. That's basically how I played with the ants at the time. Schools also didn't fence off their pitches or playgrounds now. Only pupils of the school and school hours can play on those areas. Oh man, I used to go into like, I don't know, where you can actually go to like play areas and you can just play. Oh my god. Nicer than most kids. Oh, trust me, I've done a lot more experiments. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm absolutely kidding. No, I wasn't a mean child. I was the quiet child. I was really the quiet child. But I did get upset. Because I don't know if any of your parents ever did that. It was where they were an assistant parent at a nursery or at a school. What the policy is you as a parent are not permitted to interact with your child at all whilst you're at school. I don't know if you ever experienced that when you were younger. Now with mine, I saw my dad, my human dad, like, oh, I play with this group of kids and I play with that group of kids, and I'm like looking at him. I said I want a hug, and he completely ignores me. I wanted a hug. I said I want a hug, and he just completely ignores me and continues playing with other kids. He just completely ignored me. So I don't know if you guys ever had the experience or that. This is during nursery time as well. It's like, and I don't know if I got jealous or I just got really, really hurt that he was just deliberately just ignoring me. Where I live, there's 7 schools within walking distance, both secondary and primary, and every one of them have those big 15-foot chain links fences around their play areas. Yeah, I mean, they're more strict now. For obvious reasons, they're more strict now. Oh, Raffian? Yes. Yeah, they fence off schools now because of security reasons, obviously. I'd rather have schools be very safe than not safe. And yes, it is a disappointment that you cannot play in certain areas anymore and whatnot, but like I said, it's better safe than sorry. When I was at school, I was out of sight of mind, and it was my parents' break time. My my mom would be always working. She would not have a lot of time. My dad was the one who brought me up majority of the time. And then my mom was wondering why I wasn't so close to her, and I'm like, well, you were not there. Like, duh, you weren't there. You were working all the time. But then I got upset with my dad because he was ignoring me in school. Oh, I understand that, but it's the football pitches being fenced off and padlocked that annoys me. Yeah. I wish we could see more parents and kids play more, and they need to stop, like, restricting and, you know, build over playgrounds because they're like, oh, nobody's using it anymore. Well, we're trying to use it, but you're fencing it off or you're getting rid of it. By the time we do have kids, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Yeah. Also, Ashen. Two things. Okay? Two things. And I know you can hear me because I can hear myself downstairs. Okay? T. And I told you before she did a poo. It isn't a fart. Oh my god, these monkey boys, I swear to days. When I was going to pick up my nephews from the school, I actually phoned my sister because a strange man was trying to collect my nephews. Oh my god, I hate that. Okay, okay.